Another top story we're following: if you're planning a vacation to the Bahamas or any country outside the U.S. that is currently under a heightened travel advisory, you may want to pay attention here to this story.
A dream vacation away from kids and husbands turned into a nightmare for two women.
I came to being raped by my assailant. I remember being pushed down. I vaguely remember the guy's face and the facial hair.
Now, those women came forward about being raped in the Bahamas after getting off of the Carnival Elation that sailed out of Jacksonville. They say the sexual assault happened inside a resort. The women say they were offered cocktails by resort staff members who were wearing uniforms. They believe the cocktails were spiked with a powerful sedative. News4JAX reporter Eric Avanier explains what travelers should know before booking a vacation.
And that research includes going on the State Department's website to see if your travel destination is under a travel advisory. If it is under an advisory, you want to pay close attention to the levels of that advisory. Now, a travel agent we spoke with says this is just the beginning.
It was the worst decision we've ever made. We noticed we're starting to feel these drinks.
Amber Shearer and Dongela Dobson are referring to the moment after staff members at a Bahama resort offered them cocktails. The women now believe the drinks were spiked with drugs because they say they were barely conscious enough to realize they were being raped. The Royal Bahama Police later issued this statement that announced the arrest of two men in connection to the rape. Before the assault, both women had left a Carnival cruise ship for an onshore excursion, the same ship that sailed out of Jacksonville. In the wake of what happened to the two women, travel experts like Scott Lara are asking travelers to become informed about countries they plan to visit. Who is responsible for making sure that travelers know what's going on in certain countries before they get on that cruise ship?
Ultimately, it's up to the traveler, him or herself, to be aware, to understand what is going on. Yes, the State Department does issue advisories. Yes, the cruise lines and those of us in the travel media let others know. But ultimately, it's up to the traveler to be aware of advisories in different countries.
When Shearer and Dobson arrived and got off the cruise ship, they entered a country that was already under a level 2 advisory because of reported violent crimes in tourist and non-tourist areas of the Bahamas. Lara says if you are exiting a cruise ship to go on an excursion, make sure you are not alone.
When you take a cruise, you go down to the shore excursion desk and you'll be on a shore excursion with 10, 15, or 20 people. So yes, there is safety in numbers. But if you make the choice to get off a cruise ship or even in an all-inclusive resort to go out on your own, hire a taxi, to have someone take you around, you're doing that at your own risk.
Now, it's worth pointing out that these advisories actually go as far as to identify specific streets and neighborhoods to avoid, especially if those areas have a history of gang violence. Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Eric. And we reached out to Carnival Cruises, received this statement. While ashore in Freeport, Bahamas on an independent shore excursion, two guests on Carnival Elation reported to Bahamian police that they were sexually assaulted at a local beach. Our onboard care team provided support for the two guests as they sailed back to Jacksonville. Bahamian police are investigating the matter. Carnival is providing our full cooperation.